a squared circle, he'll knock you out.
Curt held the AWA World Heavyweight Championship until May 1998, when he lost it to Jerry Lawler. He finally decided to sign with the World Wrestling Federation. His departure from the AWA was a significant event for both Curt and the AWA itself. His exit came in a critical time, as many top talents had left the AWA, causing the promotion to lose a key star and champion. His decision to leave was influenced by WWF's offer, which promised greater exposure, higher payouts, merchandising, and more career opportunities. After leaving the AWA and signing with the WWF, he realized what a major turning point it had made in his career. The WWF quickly repackaged him as Mr. Perfect, a character known for his cocky, flawless persona, athletic prowess, and perfection in all endeavors. This persona would become one of the most iconic in wrestling history and establish Curt as a major WWF star. His vignettes leading up to his debut showcased him excelling in various sports from football and basketball to golf and bowling, emphasizing the perfect theme. These vignettes were designed to showcase his athleticism and charisma, creating immediate interest in his character. Curt debuted on WWF television as Mr. Perfect in the fall of 1988. His initial matches helped establish his undefeated streak, creating a strong foundation for his character and setting him up as a serious contender in the World Wrestling Federation. He quickly became known for his exceptional in-ring skills, charisma, and ability to cut a compelling promo. He was often involved in high-profile storylines and feuds, particularly with top stars like Bret Hart and Randy Savage. Curt Hennig's Mr. Perfect vignettes are some of the most iconic in wrestling history. Created by the WWF in the late 1980s to introduce his Mr. Perfect persona, these segments featured Curt performing various athletic feats flawlessly, from bowling a perfect game to hitting a hole-in-one in golf. Each vignette emphasized his character's supposed perfection in any activity he attempted, portraying him as an unbeatable and supremely confident athlete who could outshine anyone. These vignettes were effective in building his persona as someone who is genuinely perfect, setting him up as both a villain and a technical powerhouse in the ring. Like a magician, people would always wonder how he got the hole-in-ones and the basketball in the hoop with his back turned, but there was no trick photography and post-production editing. The fact of the matter is Curt possessed a skill set to make most of those on his first or second try. Upon his debut as Mr. Perfect, WWF built him up with an undefeated streak that extended well into 1989. This streak was an essential part of building his heel persona and establishing him as a credible, unbeatable athlete in the eyes of fans. WWF protected his character, allowing him to gain momentum and respect as a performer. The streak set the stage for future rivalries and positioned him as one of the WWF's main stars in the late 1980s and early 1990s. The undefeated angle added legitimacy to Curt's character as he showcased both his technical skill and in-ring intelligence in every match.
Oh, Mr. Perfect with a gleam in his eye, bringing laughs around as he passes by. Pulling pranks with a wink, he's got style. Feel us all giggling in a single file. Pranks and chuckles, he's on the roll. Kurt's the master of light-hearted soul. Playful antics wherever he roams, bringing joy like a king on his throne.
Known for his sharp wit and love for pranks, he had a knack for stirring up chaos in the locker room. Among his legendary stunts was greasing the soles of fellow wrestlers' boots before matches, causing them to slip in the ring to the amusement of everyone but the victim. Another infamous prank involved gluing Razor Ramon's boots to the locker room floor, leaving him scrambling before a match. He even once replaced the contents of Owen Hart's protein shake with a less savory concoction, leading to a hilarious post-workout realization. He even orchestrated a fake call to Bret Hart, pretending to be a promoter offering a bogus endorsement deal. His pranks, while often harmless, occasionally crossed the line.
Oh, he's Mr. Perfect. Hear the crowd shout. Oh.
He played a sneaky role in the infamous feud between the Dynamite Kid and Jacques Rougeau. Jacques Rougeau would state, Mr. Fuji and the British Bulldogs were the king of ribbers, and they created a lot of animosity. There was already heat between the Bulldogs and us. We were in Madison Square Garden, and we had a 20-minute Broadway with them, and they were the champions. They were upset because they didn't beat us. Then after that, I became a victim of them when they started playing ribs on me. We were in Syracuse, and I wanted to get a flight home to Montreal to see my kids. We were on 6th, the Bulldogs were on 3rd, so I went to Strongbow and asked him to switch our matches. Mr. Perfect was trying to cause trouble. He came to see me in the dressing room and said, Jacques, if I were you, I'd be careful with my stuff. You're on the ish list of the Bulldogs. I said, okay, do you mind checking my bags when I'm in the ring? When I got to the dressing room after my match, Mr. Perfect looked at me right in my eye, then he looked at my bag, then he looked me in the eye, looked at my bag, looked me in the eye, looked at my bag, and then he looked down. So I thought the Bulldogs came in and played with my stuff. I looked through my bag really fast, but none of my clothes were cut up. But I felt something was wrong. So just before I left, I told Perfect, I'm not going to stand for this. I'm going to talk to Vince when I get back. Now I was being accused of being a stooge. Curt would add fuel to the fire when he would tell the Dynamite Kid that Jacques ratted him out to the office, leading to the infamous retaliation where Rougeau struck back with a roll of quarters. Curt's mischief set off a chain reaction, escalating tensions and cementing the incident as one of wrestling's most notorious backstage dramas. Since Curt arrived in the WWF, it was his dream to have Bobby the Brain Heenan as his manager. So when he was paired up with jobber turned heel Lanny Poffo, neither men were excited over the pairing. Although in later years, the genius would admit the 4 months he spent alongside Mr. Perfect were the best 4 months of his 20-year career to that point, it wouldn't come without some growing pains along the way. Before going on live, Regis wanted Curt to join him in a bowling demonstration, but Curt wasn't interested in showing off his bowling skills on live TV. Curt declined, explaining that Mr. Perfect didn't need to prove himself on live television. His refusal was both in character and a clever way to maintain the mystique of his flawless image. The move left Regis and Kathy Lee amused, as Curt's confidence and charisma sold the moment just as effectively as if he bowled a perfect strike.
Are you watching, Mr. Perfect?
I'm watching.
All right, babe, here you go.
Good, Regis.
No!
Not bad. It's a spare.
Darn!
You got a spare.
But I got close. I got 4 down, didn't I?
Lanny Poffo provided insight into the tense bowling incident. According to Poffo, Curt refused to bowl because he was concerned about maintaining his Mr. Perfect persona, especially ahead of a significant match against Hulk Hogan later on that night. Regis, frustrated by his refusal, expressed his irritation during the show. Hennig instead offered to perform a magic trick, but it led to further awkwardness when Regis misremembered the card during the act. Poffo, feeling caught in the middle, explained that Curt was upset afterward, believing Poffo might have upstaged him during the exchange. Despite the tension, Poffo emphasized that Hennig was a consummate professional and deeply respected among his peers, recalling this as a rare, uncomfortable moment in an otherwise excellent partnership.
Mr. Perfect rides in, the wind at his back, Texas tornado dust on the track. Boots at the floor of that old saloon, filling the air with a cowboy tune.
He captured the WWF Intercontinental Championship by defeating the Texas Tornado Kerry Von Erich. This win marked a significant achievement in his WWF career and established him as a top-tier champion within the promotion.
Curt Hennig, it's can be told.